Okay, Sisters fans. Now, you know, hey, what can I say that hasn't been said like 5,000 times over? These new writers are ruining the show. Ratings are down. Fans are leaving. The show needs to be canceled. Blah, blah, blah. I don't think the show needs to be canceled per se. A lot of people are saying that season 8 ought to be the last season, but I think I speak for a majority of the fan base when I say that I'm an episode oneer. I've been here since the pilot. And I think for anyone who's made it this far into the show's run, just canceling it wouldn't be satisfying. And when I say don't cancel it, I don't mean continue on in the same fashion that it is now. If you want to end the show, let's just end it right. Now, that doesn't mean everybody's going to be 100% satisfied with the final episodes. I mean, no one is ever completely satisfied with anything that happens in entertainment or just the real world in general. Basically, you can't please everyone. But I do think that if there were a quote unquote final season, even though it was a different series, well, technically it was a spinoff, but as the show went forward, it's like they forgot all about it. Bruh. Now, I don't know if the show is quote unquote officially canceled or if they plan on following up in some way. At this time, I'm just figuring that, okay, that last batch of episodes we got, what did we get? 10 episodes for season 4. I'm thinking that, okay, that's the end. Do I want more? Of course. Not just because I want to finish the show, but because the final season was written by new writers. It wasn't Tyler Perry. And if you watch my reviews, then you know for a fact I thoroughly enjoyed season 4. I'm like, dang, those new writers came in and breathed new life into the show. They had a good grasp on the characters and did what they could to enhance their storylines. Even characters I couldn't stand, I actually felt like they got something to do in this season. Now, the sad part is, Sisters didn't have that. I was excited when season 7 was announced with new writers. The first half made a lot of people skeptical, but I felt optimistic that the new writers were, taking the show kind of back to its season 1 roots in a way by, giving us more sister circle moments, having the girls just hanging out, and even getting a lot of new character combos, like, spending more time with Sabrina and Karen, or seeing Danny interacting with, Karen, having that sit down about the way they treat each other. Just moments like that definitely made it feel like, okay, this show's going good. But then, of course, the second half is where it fell off. Even though a lot of people say the moment they knew it was over was when Zach was confirmed to be one of the baby daddies. But I think that the new writers of Bruh did a great job with what they had. They knew they only had a handful of episodes, and they did their best to make the best product possible, probably down to the fact that, hey, if these new episodes do well, then we'll get, an extended contract to write more. But with Sisters, it's like they just took a huge step backwards. So I don't really know what's going to happen if there is a season 9. Someone said that either in an interview or in the Keep It Positive Sweetie podcast, Crystal mentioned that there will be a season 9. I'm not saying people are wrong, because a number of people did say it, and I assume that they are the what do they call them, the sweetie pies, people who are on the Patreon and whatnot. So they get early access, or they just watch it for free or listen, whatever. So yeah, we can assume there is definitely a Sister season 9. So if there is one, because they haven't really officially confirmed it, and I like to wait until there's confirmation that the cast are at Tyler Perry Studios. Number one, I have a strong feeling that similar to season 8, well, prior to Actors Access stuff, they're probably going to keep it under wraps, which honestly, I am not mad at. Now, for me, that will be less content to create, but at the same time, I do feel like the writers could definitely step back, read the room from the writer's room, and kind of reevaluate how to go into this new season. I don't want season 9 to be the final season, but theoretically, if it was, I'd want it to be done right, because I just do not feel that last season and the current season were a good fit for what the show has been known for. It just seems like had the show been a entirely new thing, if these new writers were handed the keys to a Tyler Perry series, but it was their own thing, it could have probably been done better or received better by the fans. But the fact that they were given a show that was 6 seasons in and they made some drastic changes, yeah, people are going to notice. Season 7, well, the writers couldn't depict the characters well. Season 8, the pacing's off and they're dragging their feet with, the Gary storyline and whatnot. And we're still in the same day. And, I mean, we're about to go into, episode 7, right? And 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So there are 5 episodes left. And I don't even know if we're going to get past this same day we're in right now. I mean, we probably will, because the whole thing about the episode synopsis where Andy goes back to work. Yeah, I don't think we're going to make it past the 48-hour period. I think that the current day we're in might wrap up around episode 8, give or take, or episode 9. Yeah, because in the mid-season finale, because what is it? Andy gets let go, put on leave, and then she gets attacked in the parking lot. So yeah, I think we're going to finish up the current day we're in, and then we're going to move into the next day. The mid-season finale ought to be around the morning or afternoon of that same day. So yeah, we wouldn't even have had 48 hours or a good 36 hours pass during the first half of season 8. Season 9 definitely needs to go back to the season 7 format of pacing. Write these characters more compelling. To be completely honest, though, even though a lot of people are in their feelings about Zach being a stay-at-home dad now, I'd rather him just kind of be put on the sidelines as opposed to what they did to him last season, because last season was kind of rough to get through in terms of the way he was being depicted. So if you don't really know how to fully utilize the character, just put him on the sidelines. I feel like that's the best way to do it. Yeah, fans might complain, man, what is Zach doing? He's not doing enough. There's not enough time focused on him. Hey, I'd rather that than him running after Karen or something like that. Or, the Zarin shippers that people like to say the writers are. But yeah, I just feel like season 9 isn't going to be the last season. I think that there are more seasons to come. I have no confirmation of this, but I just don't think that the current shows that Tyler has for BET or Viacom are anywhere close to wrapping up. I mean, I said this a couple seasons ago. I think there ought to be just a major overhaul on a bunch of these shows where, yeah, most of them, they don't need to be on the air. Like House of Pain, Assisted Living, Ruthless, The Oval, they've all run their course. I think that it's time for just new stuff. Or, I mean, and you don't have to replace them all at one time. You can slowly phase them out while slowly bringing in some new ones, because not everything is going to be a hit. But when you have fans saying I watched that series Cross. Yes, it is on my to-do list. I will watch it sometime soon. I watched that Cross. It was only 8 episodes, and it was better than all 22 of Tyler's shows on Viacom. It's just one of those things where, yeah, I mean, there's an oversaturation of Tyler Perry content. However, there are few, if any, shows that are actually worth checking out. That's the majority consensus from the audiences out there. I mean, yeah, Beauty in Black was a hit. It was. Regardless of how you feel about it, it was a monster in terms of the viewership and whatnot. But the thing about that is that was just a series that, had a short stint on Netflix, and we got to wait a few months until we get the back half of the same season in 2025. But the problem is when you have a consistent stream of shows on BET Plus, and the fan base couldn't care less, that's kind of where it's okay, maybe we do need to reevaluate the way we do things. But I don't know. It's all a machine. It's all about making money, and what can you do? So I don't think season 9 is the final season. I don't think it needs to be the final season. I just feel like there just needs to be a reevaluation of, okay, let's look at what the fans are saying about season 7, season 8. What can we do better in season 9 to maintain or increase ratings to where they were prior to us getting the writer's pin, and go forward from there? Because, yeah, Even though I haven't always been, I think season 2 is where I started to write off Andy as a, character I actually liked, but she's never been this dumb. Yeah, she's been insufferable, annoying in terms of her wishy-washy attitude towards all things Gary related, but to depict her as this weak, pathetic, and dumb. And it's not the new writers I fully want to blame for this. I mean, Tyler was doing this when he was making Fatima more masculine in terms of the way she's being depicted, like a powerhouse gangster, more street than anything else. And I feel like that started to diminish Andy as a character, where the likes of Karen could just easily shove her down like she was a pillow made of feathers. And, Fatima always had to back her up. Andy just never could fight her own battles, which sucked because, don't get me wrong, it felt like in the early seasons, Andy was competent in all things non-Gary affiliated. It was her love life that just, her dumb decisions made her weak and flimsy, but in every other area of her life, she was capable. It seems like at this point, she can do nothing except fake cry and get pushed around. So yeah, hopefully season 9, the writers take some criticism. And I mean, look, yeah, there are those who leave nasty comments, but then there are people like I'd like to think like myself, and of course the fans who care about the show and just feel like, hey, we know you're the new guard. We know you're the ones holding the keys to the show, but I think, it wouldn't help to have a little bit of fan critique taken into consideration to help make this show what it was, if not better, when Tyler was the one running it. So yeah, like, I just hope that season 9 is far and away better than what we've gotten so far, because good Lord. So that's all I got to say. Like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video.